up, bugs? This is Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing, extended, beautiful family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you've been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. And if you feel like you really vibe from it, go ahead, drop a line, let me know where you're from, or just give me the insight that you feel about the videos, and give a thumbs up and share. It would be greatly appreciated. Anybody who's going through anything right now, mostly mentally, spiritually, psychologically, I'm sending you so much love and vibes and frequency as in blessings, you know, so you can keep being consistent and keep pushing on, no matter what you're facing. Anybody coming in with nefarious vibes or any kind of evil intent, baby, I'm sending that back towards your way. I just don't have time. I'm not gonna claim it, consume it, embrace that, embody it, nothing. I'm just sending that back towards you a million times following. Okay, video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, sometimes you have to deal with the ugliness in the world to find the beauty in you. It's true. I was contemplating about this video because it's just like when you talk to spirit and stuff like that, it, you know, like I've said before, when I stopped doing videos for a while, I felt like, okay, you know, I didn't want to do any videos unless I really had something to say, something was guiding me to, you know, just to talk about. But it's just like, this is my purpose, even though I hate talking about the different things that I go through, because this is not a teaching seeking or trying to make somebody feel sorry for me or sympathy or anything like that. It's just about, you know what, just telling the different things that I've gone through so other people can learn what not to do, or if you're in a situation and you can find yourself on getting out, please go ahead and do it. Please do. You know, going through so many different things, you know, if you've been with me for a while, you know, or you know my situation, then you understand. You know, a lot of people are coming in new that's just now starting my videos and stuff like that. And, you know, what started me on my path of my purpose, especially started doing videos from YouTube. It was about me finding out, you know, I found out I was adopted. Well, I knew I was adopted my whole life. You know, I always felt like there was a part of me missing, and it was just little different things that I said. But then it was at the point in my life that was the real traumatic thing, is that I talked to my dad, my biological father, for a long time, and didn't even realize I was talking to him. He was supposed to have been a family friend, you know his name. It was like Uncle whatever. You know, I said, I'm not going to say his name. You know, I said, if you've been with me for a while, or you can pick up on what I'm talking about, because it's hidden in plain sight, you'll put two and two together. But, you know, I did not find out the truth about my dad until after he passed. And on top of that, the way I found out was really messed up. You know, and then on top of that, you find out you're adopted, then you find out your dad is a rock star. You know, he's a high-end celebrity. You know, and you can't get closure from it because the family doesn't want you knowing any truth. They want to keep you out of the limelight because they want to be able to keep money. And, you know, my family been living and still living off of, you know, trust fund that me and my siblings were supposed to have. It's just not me. I have 6 other siblings, but, you know, when my father died, he has no children. But the family knows my dad has, you know, I was the first child that was legally, you know, placed on my dad's will, you know, to be able to get all his things. And, you know, they, you know, changed the paperwork, you know, did everything they had to do. And to say this, to say that, you know, it's just to be able to give you a little snippet of how ugly life can really be. You know, I have to live with my ex, which is very toxic. You know, I haven't been able to work in 8 years. Ever since this downfall has happened, of my father passing away, and just having to deal with that trauma, and then finding out, you know, hey, this is your family. You've been talking to him. Your dad's been coming back and forth to Georgia to come back and see you, and lies were always constantly made up. You know, had family, you know, asking him for money, saying to get me out of trouble, confirmation, you know, to sit up here and make sure they can finance their luxury lifestyle, you know. And that was something, just to be able to say that. I can say it without having any kind of emotion, or just say it without being hurt or even crying. These are the different things that I've cried about. You know, I go through different things because is like you have to have a healing process without even getting closure. Anytime you got to heal without getting closure, without somebody asking you for forgiveness or apologizing for the pain they put you through, it can seem like a very hard process. With my ex, I had to, constantly see how he finances, the females that he deal with money that you got from my family to make sure I don't go anywhere. And having to be able to deal with that. You want me to do degrading things to get money from you, and I won't do that. It's been days I haven't had anything to eat. And I was even contemplating on putting a video, just, before the 9/9 portal happened. You invite me out to get something to eat. I'm like, you ain't never did that before. What's going on? We ain't been doing this since we've been dating. I'm just being nice, and I see you haven't ate, and it just felt off. But it's just like anytime I leave my house, since all this stuff has been going, because it was constantly, I would even put in my videos, I would have different things would go on where I had people pull up on me, and about to, Scarface the heck out of me out. Gotta have, guidelines on here so you can't say certain words. And come to find out, he did that again on Sunday. What was going on? You had planned something out to where there can be an ambush. Confirmation to have an ambush to where I was supposed to be taken out. And every single time, God has blessed me for me not to be able to do that. It just so happened I could be on the phone and I could be FaceTiming somebody or whatever you want to say on Android, whatever you want to call it. And it just so happened those are the things that saved me from getting, deleted. Constantly having 4 people back to back. I had friends that, still watch my videos and they remember me telling them that. I'm like, girl, how did you deal with that? How did you go out of that? And it was just so happened I was on the phone with one of my friends. They called me, and we FaceTime, and it was just like it makes the walk quicker, for me to get where I had to get. And I'm just wondering why it happened on Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving weekend, and it turned around happened this time. Because you don't place a price over my head. And it didn't turn out the way it's supposed to. And then, I always say that, and I tell people, even though I tell people here, people are really starting to see where God got your back, where your ancestors do not play with you. They're seeing it. People are getting karma left and right. I constantly hear it, especially on the spiritual YouTube side, where there's a lot of people saying, I put my power back. I'm seeing karma hitting people left and right. You don't know what kind of stuff people are placing on you. You don't know what kind of things people are wishing bad for you. And I tell people, and it's hard at times for you to be able to digest something like that, to be able to move through life and still be in your right mind. That takes so much strength. And that's why I tell people I go through different stuff like this on a daily basis. Not with the ambush thing, but I have to really deal with toxicity almost every day. But I choose to allow myself to see it, don't react, don't respond. Going through different things day to day, there's times I really got to get in my prayer, because I have those weak moments. I get tired. I feel like, you in that point where you just fed up, you tired of people getting away with stuff, You're a kind person. You're a very generous person. And, I've always told people that knew my situation, and I said that people that know me, that really know me, knowing I used to have me a hustle or, in 2 and 3 jobs. And I said ever since my dad passed away, have not been able to hold down a job. And I have not been able to have a job, And going through all these different things, I had to deal with trauma. I had to go with grief of losing a father. Had my mom turned against me. My biological mom, for different things, all because they didn't want these things to come out. And people got well paid just to keep their mouth shut. And that was my ugliness in the world. Did not know it was going to lead me to a purpose to where I be making videos here. I learn, I grow. There's different things that I talk about. And I said, and I don't want, if I say anything, it's not to hurt anybody. But even though the truth is always going to hurt somebody, but this is the truth. You know, I've had things done to me that people would not want somebody doing them. And it's just the stuff that I go through. I wouldn't even put my own enemies, the one that put me through this. I would never put somebody in a situation like this. And anybody who really knows me, you know, knowing I was a generous person, if I would have, you know, got that blessing like that in the way it, you know, I thought it was supposed to be, but God had different plans. I would be a generous person. I would help people out in need, you know, start contributions out for different things, start my own thing up for domestic violence, for people that's going through situations like me. I'll tell anybody, especially if it's somebody who's dealing with my ex and they watching my videos, I'm like, please run. Do not put yourself in this situation. If you have not scratched the surface with that, please exit the building now. You know, anybody who's even in a narcissistic relationship, if you have, there's times where it has to be a breaking point where you say, when is things going to ever get better? I try to do things to make this person happy, and it's not, you're never going to be enough for a narcissist. You have to understand, even for a narcissist, they're not enough for themselves because they never can be happy. Then you can give them everything they want and they will still find a reason to not be happy. You know, I had to be at that point in my life where I had to really exit people out of my life because they didn't want to see me happy. They would wish the worst on me. It's bad when you have to tell people, hey, you know, just for future reference, you know, there's a lot of people that don't put some stuff on me. And every time they do ugly stuff to me, I've seen people lose family members for doing it. And now, mind you, this is not stuff that I'm doing back to them. It's just the way my ancestor and my protection is set up. And I'll tell that for a lot of people. You'll notice that when people be very ugly to you, they start having very bad mishaps, especially when you're not angry with them no more. And I said that in the videos the other day. When you take your anger out of your heart, you know, and a lot of times it's hard to be able to do that because you're going through this is not about getting a check lost in the mail, even though that's kind of pissed off. That'll piss anybody off anyway, losing a check that's in the mail. And you going through that, and you had to be able to push through different stuff like that. You know, this is the ugliness you got to deal with in the world. You go through any kind of Sigma empath, any kind of Heyoka, any kind of spiritual warrior. You're going through some really intense stuff. There ain't no healers I ain't never sit up here and deal with. They ain't had no hardship in their life. Because these are the different things you're mirroring out to people to check themselves before they break themselves when dealing with you. You know, I tell people that. It's like every time I've had people leave my life and they wish the worst on me. And I'm seeing, you know, lose jobs, become homeless, doing stuff like that. Did you do something? I didn't do nothing to you, but I forewarned you. Because anytime and I tell people, anytime you tell somebody the heartaches and pains and stuff that you go through, and then somebody purposely uses that and make sure you never come out of heartache, despair, you can't expect for your life to be grand. You can't expect for your life to be peaceful. Even with certain things that, and the people that we're connected with to do stuff like that, they have a bad habit of doing that to almost everybody they come in contact with. You know, you know, every time they came into contact, you know, you're going through these different things. You know, it's like for the next couple of days, there's so many of these intense shifts that's going on. It's gonna get very real. It's going to get very real for you. You're going to start seeing a lot of things in its truest form, and that mess is going to be brutal. You're going to have people leaving your life left and right. You're going to start seeing things when you start asking yourself, universe, to be revealed on that. You just heard that dinging. You know, being revealed to you. You be amazed what you end up seeing within that. You go through the ugliness within to your life, and you find some kind of peace within that. You know, I had to digest, my family doesn't want me here. You know, my kids care not if I live or die. You know, the people that I showed much love to, I have no problem with putting a price over my head, all for money. And this is something I would, you know, and these are the people that I've done everything for. And I had to be a point in my life where you're going to get your peace, even if you have to force yourself to get into it every day. And I had to do that. I really had to do that. And I'm very passionate about being able to tell people the things that I went through and show you the ugliness of what I went through. But the beauty of it is it allowed me to love myself. It's allowing myself to anybody who just downright disrespect me and say I'm all these things that they know I'm not, or even capable of doing. Allow myself to not take that to heart, but that's exactly how people feel about themselves. You know, I see a lot of people that are running around hurting, and they're hurting other people, you know. While there's a lot of people that are being misunderstood, and you're just trying to move through a path of life, you know, you're allowing yourself to be in your truth. You're being authentic. You may have had a mask on, and a mask doesn't always have to be you faking who you are, but just a mask of being in a poverty type mindset, or you have gone through some kind of abandonment or neglect issues. And then when you finally found out, these are the things that are holding me back. Me not having belief in myself is what holds me back. You know, the exact people that come into your life and rip it apart. You know, allow that anger to come out of your heart for that. That's why it's just like, you know, I don't want to go into details and say, I went through this, I went through that, we went through this, you know. Because at first, it was like before, I was in my feelings before. And I ain't gonna lie, you know, and I was gonna sit up here and disclose so many different things in my videos to where it can show where my life has been threatened. I see different things where people trying to break into my room and got videotapes of it, you know, and just so many hurtful things. But it was just like, God say, don't do that. Don't do that. The truth, the real truth, I will expose that. You don't do that. You allow yourself to tell people what you went through. You can go to an extent about telling them about what you went through. But just telling them important parts of how you dealt with that, you know, it's hard for me on anniversaries. It's hard for me on my dad's birthday. You know, it's certain sites I can't go through on the social media because it's real heavy on seeing my dad there all the time. You know, or especially people say different things about him where he's not here to defend himself, and you wait years for you to pop out and start saying this, and he's all this and this and that. And I'm like, why don't you say this while he was living? Why are you saying different things about him to get a quick dollar, or say something just because you know you want a quick dollar, you know? And those are the different things I had to go through, because it's like I'm not in the limelight, I'm not a celebrity, you know, and I got to deal with all this mess, and it's all thrown in my lap. And these are different things that I had to really, you know, really have to go through. So it's just being able to share these different things with y'all, you know, about the things that I have been placed in my life, or different things, you know. And you know, it gets scary. I mean, I've had to share, you know, I didn't have to, but I shared different things where my friends, where I can show them different pictures of, you know, showing things. Is, you know, it was like, well, I can't believe you went through that. And I'm like, here, I got the picture to prove it. And you showing somebody, and somebody got a pimp, you know, aiming it right at you. Or you got 3 people in a car deep, you know, and it just so having people coming out the door, or you just, you know, videotaping. And that's the only thing that saved me, is that man came out of his house. You know, and I just so happened to be videotaping, and I was talking, and they didn't know what I was doing. And then I see the pim come out, and then when you see that I'm a video, you know, you want to pull it back, you know. And I had to walk the streets every day, you know, where I wanted to go, I had to walk. And I had to go out the house, and I had to pray before I left out the house that I had faith that I could make it back into my house safely. I never thought I would have to be in a situation like that I have to be able to pray to get back and forth to my house safely. But it was like, even God was like, you don't got to do that. Cause I know the reason why these things are happening, so it's not going to happen for you like that, you know. And just being able to find a beauty part in my life is just like, I can sit here, and it's not sit here and soak and think about all the harshness that I went through and want to feel sorry about myself, but actually allowing myself to sit here and say, look at all these different things that happened to your life, and you still in your right mind. Okay? Or you can sit up here and have a smile on your face when you can say that. And it's not saying, you know, these things don't affect me, but I had to allow myself to not continue to let it affect me. It's like, you can't change the fact that your father's passed. You can't change the fact that people lied to keep y'all apart for years at a time, even when they knew who you were, you know, making up different things about me, or I didn't want to know my parents and stuff like that. And I mean, you had to really digest that, really, really had to digest that. It's just like people you loved and cared for, you just see that use you as a pawn for money. People, they joked about that, about who you were belonging to, and made jokes about the fact is my dad is so successful and the only thing he couldn't do is be a father. Knowing I had a brother that passed and you joked about that. And these are the different things you had to go through to be able to find. You have to create your own beauty into your life. You are the painter. Your life is your canvas. I've said that before to y'all. Your life is your canvas. You go through different things in life, and life will amaze you. When you put the effort and the momentum in, and the dedication and the persistence to become better, and you really using that. And it's just like, and I tell people, what my thing is that I use to keep going? Allow me to think about what the people told me I couldn't do, or I won't do, or what won't come out, or what I'm not, or who I'm not related to. All those different things. And I use that to allow me to put a smile on my face and know I'm still blessed. Even though I may sit up here and not have money to financially take care of myself, I say I'm not struggling. Even when I'm struggling, I'm not mentally, emotionally struggling like I used to, because I take that time out every day and say, if you got another day to do right by yourself and make today your right day every day, that takes strength to be able to do that. There was a lot of times where I didn't get out of the bed. I would sleep all the time. I would emotionally eat. I've been fasting. And that is like a equal to me. I used to be, it drive me crazy. I have to ask a friend, or my friend be like, hey, I got some groceries delivering to your house. And it would really make me feel good, And I went through these things, and it was just, it was just hurtful to me. It's like, Dad, y'all took everything from me that, that I wouldn't have had no problem with splitting with you. I mean, that's a lot. So why the hell would I want to keep something like that? And knowing I'm not a stingy person, I never have been. But the people that are like that in this situation truly are, and having to be able to go through that, and people telling you, oh, you're not related to him, and even though they know I got DNA tests to prove that, I got ancestry to prove that, I don't have to go through different stuff like that. But it will be just a trigger for somebody to know that who my dad is. They will rub that in my face, and yet I had to keep pushing. I had to keep going. You have the only parent you have living that's adopted. He's the ringleader of the whole situation. Mother's still here, she was lied to and put in a situation. So it's just like being able to have this purpose and tell you, these are the different things that I go through every day. These are the different things that I go through every day. These are the different things I have to heal from every day. And just allowing myself I take my power back each and every day. And I know I am, because I keep seeing the mishap that goes on in people's lives. I don't poke fun at it. I don't think it's amusing, because it's just like when I do different things like that, that side of me that is really being hurt, deep down I can say, it's not funny, but it's, popcorn movie worthy. You sit here, you don't want to look at it, but it'll be certain things you cannot stop but looking. And it's just like, it makes me feel like I'm on the outside looking in, because it's like I would move in that energy for a while, be angry. Just be really angry and just be real hateful towards these people because they keep doing stuff like that to me. And I said I had to allow myself to take that anger out of my heart about what they did and use that as the tool to become better. So if you're going through something in life and it's really triggering to you and you just seem like you can never get over this, these are the different things where you keep telling yourself every day, I'm going to get over this. I'm going to overcome this. Not really say get over it, get over this, like get over it. You going through some different things that people cannot tell you how long you can grieve from something. Especially if you're dealing with some stuff that's on this type of level. This is G14 level, And my thing is like with my enemies and my karmic family, they just swore up and down I used to be that person. I really went out for family. And even when they treated me dirty as I don't know what, I really went all out for family. And I was at that point where even with the mistreatment, I would allow myself to stay in that. And then when this stuff happened and I really seen what this was about, I ain't no way that I know I can be able to you can sit in my face and I know you did this and me to be able to do it. This is the only situation. People are like, Rosalind, why don't you leave? There's lessons to be learned in this situation, and that's all I can say. Because if it was, and I tell all the time, even when I used to bump heads, if I had the money, I would have been gone a long time ago. I really would have. And it's just the fact is my ex knows that, my family knows that, and that's the reason why it came to that point where they try to make sure I have no money coming in, because they don't want any kind of way for me to be able to get any kind of support, no outside support. These are the different things where they felt they blocked it, but it was actually God trying to show me, you don't have to, don't be at a point where there will be times where God's going to be like, I'm going to have this person bless you and send you a blessing, or somebody's going to want to do a reading and you do that. And those are the different times those different things came in when I was doing readings and stuff, and those blessings was coming in heavy. But then it was at a time where God, I'm going to put you, when you leveling up, then there's going to be certain other things that I had to deal with that kind of disabled my growth. But it wasn't disabling my growth, but it was trying to add weight to my growth. And for me going through that, I had to sacrifice not having money. I had to be able to really see. Ooh, excuse me, that's like a spiritual hiccup of a confirmation. I had to be able to go through that. I mean, there's days I went 2 weeks without eating, eating mints and water and stuff like that. The only good thing is, since people put fat spells on me, I just don't start losing weight. And it was like beauty spells being put on me. Hey, you done cleared my skin up. I'm like, thank y'all. I was like, thank y'all. Because it was like when I first went through this, I could not gain weight whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, depression hits in, and all of a sudden I started packing on pounds. People wanted to cripple my confidence. They wanted me to not look pretty. I feel like everybody's beautiful, but what makes people ugly is their heart, their soul, how they do other people. You can be the most beautiful person and still have an ugly soul, and that really will make you ugly, And I had to learn so many hard lessons from this situation. But where I'm at now to compare it where I was, I won't lie. I really appreciate all the hardship that I really faced. If I didn't go through this heartache and pain, I wouldn't know how to love myself. If I didn't have people dogging me out, it would be just like, hey, you'd rather be by yourself than be around people that are just really toxic and just thrive off of seeing you upset, stressed out, and always in chaos, And that's what I have to deal with in my house. That's why I tell people I stay in my room. I don't go out nowhere, shoot, ain't got no food. I'm not coming out my room. Or you see me go out of the room to take my shower, go to the bathroom, or get me some water, or go take trash out, or go wash my clothes. Other than that, you're not going to see me out. And I just move on with my life. It gets better and better every day. Even when I don't get closure, it's a blessing that God gave me that spiritual gift to where I can talk to people that passed over. So I sit up here and talk to my family that passed over, and it's a blessing when people come to me and their families when they're going through different things or they passed away and they need answers and stuff like that, and it's a blessing I can be able to do that for them. So it's just like, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have met y'all beautiful people. I wouldn't have known about all the different clairs that I have, all the spiritual clairs. Wouldn't have even known about the gifts I had. Wouldn't even know who I was related to throughout all of that. And no, this is DMX and it's not him. But I can really allow myself to say this was my turning point in life, when life really shakes you up. You go through, when you go through those awakenings, they shake you up. They put you in some kind of struggle. They put you in some kind of devastation, some kind of trauma. And these are the different things where, we can really clap at God. Like, why, if you say you love me and I'm your child, why do I got to go through all these things? I never told you just because I love you don't mean you ain't gonna never go through stuff. We all got hardship. Look what I had to do just to get, save y'all from y'all sins, and this is the payback y'all keep giving me. Be those different things now. She's like, shoot, he the one who need to be triggered from it. But those are the different things to take off. When it gets to that point in my life where it really, did not realize how traumatic, how a blessing can come out of trauma. I really didn't know that, how blessing can really truly come out of trauma. And it's just like, it allows things, even when you don't understand. I heard somebody the other day and it really touched my heart, because they were like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my life. I'm trying to get over different things. Family, y'all don't want to talk to me. Everybody's saying everything is my fault. I'm seeing people getting karma left and right. And I had to tell them, hey, you leveling up. It's like, how is that leveling up? You got all this because they're showing you. People are getting karma. People don't want to take accountability for anything they're going through. They don't want to sit up here and tell you what they've been doing and putting their mouth on you about behind closed doors, because you allowing yourself to stand in your power, showing who you truly are. These are different things where people are destiny swapping because they see you do things you don't realize. You're very intimidating. With my situation, I can smell fear on somebody when I see that, just to see how messy it was. Because before, I used to be like, why is this person trying to trigger me? And it's like, no, this person is a fear of you, and they're very intimidated, and they don't like to shine on you. They don't like your truth. They don't want you speaking the truth, and they want you to be quiet. Especially if you ever notice on videos, especially on tarots and stuff like that, people trying to be in their truth, even y'all see me, you got because energy wants you to shut up. When God giving you that moment where somebody need to get that message, somebody need to get that reading, and this is something they want. The enemy don't want you knowing the truth. They want you to be as ignorant as they are towards the truth is they ignorant are to growth and honesty. You had to really go through different stuff like that. You had to really see, how people really felt about you. When you go through your hardest things, and if you don't know what God has around the corner for you, you be seeing all the time, you got blessings coming your way, and it was just like, how do I have blessings coming my way, and I'm going through this, that, and the third? Your hardship, those storms are not always storms like this. This is supposed to clear out anything that's going to hinder you, anything that's going to keep you from putting your best foot forward, anything that's going to hold you back or is hindering you or deterring you from being the best person you can be. Like, I go through different stuff like that, and it's just like, how you gonna talk about stuff if you ain't over, you're not out of this situation? And it's like, my situation now ain't always gonna be that way. And I claim that my situation now ain't always, this is just a moment. This is something temporary. They tell you your pain only supposed to be temporary. It has different lessons that you need to be able to learn. There's different things that's taking place in your life that's still hindering you. What pain are you not allowing yourself to release? What things are you not allowing yourself to forgive yourself for? And they were like, how forgiving myself? Yeah, because there'll be different times that we can hold on to different things in our lives that has really taken place, and we can be so angry about it. And we can be angry with ourselves. Why didn't we see that? Why didn't I stop it? Why didn't I understand the signs? Why didn't I leave this situation when it first took place? And we place a lot of resentment in our lives. And a lot of time that resentment and that regret can be so heavy. It plays out in our life decisions. It shows how we treat ourselves. It shows how we treat other people. Are we deflecting? Are we owning up to the shit that we're allowing to get to us when it was only supposed to be a lesson? Are we holding on to people that truly show you they want to be let go, or universe is showing you need to part ways with that? I gotta go through different things where I gotta see where people are basically showing me, if I can't be with you, since I can't beat you, I'm trying to join you, and since you won't let me back, you can't be here, because that means if I can't be a part of your blessing, you ain't about to be a part of it either. And that's where my situation shows me all the time. But it's me, anything that I know I place in my heart to do good for, and I know I've been a good person, I say I'm not the innocent person, like I haven't done nothing. I own my stuff, and I'm very woman about that. If I sit up here and I say something, and then especially if I know I say it on here, that's why I'm very strategic about what I talk about, because it's like I never want to offend anybody. But it'll be in my situation where I know enemies watch me, so you're gonna always be offended. That's not my problem. These are the different things that I went through, that you put me through, and I'm able to overcome them. And I'm gonna show other people how they can get through it, and so they can overcome. I tell people all the time, I'm not caring about anything that somebody has watched on me, and I'm be scared to not say it. If anything that I say I went through, this is what I went through. These are the different things. If I can sit up here, we on a one-on-one, it's showing you all kind of pictures and different things that come on here. Just to, it's like, you can see, it was like, this mess is really crazy. And it was like, you can see screenshots, different stuff that went on. It would be just crazy. This is what I went through. Because it was like, girl, you realize you can make a good book or a good movie, a suspense thriller, psychological thriller, be like, what is A Perfect Guy with daggone, what is this? Shania Latham and Michael Ealy and daggone Morris Chestnut. When you dealing with somebody psycho like that, you had to really go through it. The only best bet is, shoot, I'm still living. And I had to be able to go through that. It's just like a lot of time I'll sit up here and say different stuff, and I'll try to, add a little he and a little ha on there, but it'll be just like, this is not something, that I can really put a joke on, but I try not to make it all the way serious, but even though this is a very serious topic, we live in a world of ugly. You got beautiful things out of here that take place, but you very seldom hear about it because you're seeing all the other ugliness that's going on in the world. But it's just a blessing when you can see somebody that's doing something for somebody out of the kindness of their heart. I love watching like the act of kindness or people reuniting with family. I'll be over here boo-hooing like it's, a old Yeller movie, and going through those different things and just being able to see the beauty of that. Even when my blessings haven't came, like it used to be hard for me to watch, but then it's just like you seeing how different times you got blessings and people really act hateful towards you when you got things, and it's like, this is something you deserve, because this is somebody who live with me every day, and then and we're cool, and you see how I struggle and stuff like that, and you see me get blessings, and you see how people just flip out for just the little blessings you have. You'll be amazed. You can be broke down and out and only got one piece of bread, and I mean not just the bread but the end bread. Everybody, it's like, I don't know too many people that like the end bread, but just because you got that bread, the main people that got a whole loaf in the bag and a wrapper to prove it is angry with you just because you got that one little piece of bread. And it's like I heard a preacher say, you got people that are mad about you just even when you ain't got nothing. You can make something out of something so little and create something to be a huge impact, and that's sad. It's just like when I make my videos and stuff like that, first it was a joke, but when they start seeing like the views and the comments and the donations and the people, doing live, they had to destroy that. Now it's just like, I'll be lucky on a good day I can get 40 views. Before, I got, like, anybody can look at the videos that I have from years. I've been doing this for 8 years. I got like 35,000 views, 60,000 views and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden my stuff done went down to here, and I'm talking about some real stuff. This is like some real, things that you can really learn stuff off of. Is where you think you've been by 8 years, you should have been established something. But then it's just like I had to not allow myself to put time on there. That's how you stress yourself out, because it'll be just like, oh, I'm at this certain age and I haven't succeeded this and this and that yet. But not saying if you putting your all in it, you may succeed to just the different things you got, but it might have to be at a later age. So I had to be in that vibe. You going through this where people are going, I'm God, I'm gonna bring people in your life to make it hard for you. And not because I hate you or not because you have done something wrong, but I want to bring something out of you didn't know was there. You got potential, you got courage, you got mad respect in the spirit realm, you got mad love in the spirit realm, and got mad protection in the spirit realm. And I want you to go through some hardships and you be able to overcome these things. But I want you to speak on the lessons and different things that you've seen, different things that you had problem with overcoming, different things that was hard for you to really detach from, or you to be able to acknowledge, just to accept there's certain things and certain situations and circumstances, and especially certain people are going to be a certain way. I'm going to put you in an unfair situation where I'm going to allow you to make it right. I'm going to allow somebody to put some black magic on you. It ain't going to be in the way they want it to happen, but I'm going to allow something to happen where it totally awakens something within you. It triggers something in you that you know you got people playing in your energy. Because you just really don't know. Especially it's like all these anointed ones and these chosen ones. You have had so many unalive spells on you. Despair spells. Unalive yourself spells. All these different things on you. And you probably had just a cold, a spiritual flu, psychic flu, these type of different things, or you got headaches. Now that mess was supposed to come in your life and obliterate you, annihilate you in some kind of way. But these are the different things where I'll show you, you won't touch my anointing. Anything that you going against that person, I'm going to make your life, make you wish. I'm going to make an example out of that person I'm putting this stuff through and the person I'm about to really place hands on to. You know, because a lot of times we feel like people messing with us when it comes to your purpose. They ain't messing with you. This is God's purpose that he led you on. That God, what the thing is, it can really get on our nerves, especially when it comes to get back and lit backs and karma, vengeance, vendetta and stuff like that. God really patient. God is really patient. And he will keep piling on things until he sees that you on that breakthrough. You might go through a breakdown that's going to lead you through a breakthrough. That's going to be another video. But you going through a breakdown to go through a breakthrough. I had to be able to put enemies in your life for you to understand you are very protected. If anybody, you know, and it'll be sad because you can see people in situations like this and they're no longer here. And which is a blessing for me to be able to see that. That is sad that somebody can go through that in a situation like mine. They're no longer here. They, you know, domestic violence can get very ugly at times, and it can be to the point where you're no longer here. Thank God, God had something in store for me that was different, even though my life has been placed in that, and where I always end up recovering over it. I've been having NED situations within my life since I've been here in this atmosphere, doomed from the womb. Like I tell people, you're going through these different things in life where you're really finding the beauty in you. You really are. You're gonna find the beauty in you. You're gonna see yourself as being a stronger person you never thought you could be, or you finally allowing yourself to accept people exactly who they are. You have to understand, we're all on a verge of healing. We're all on a verge of going towards different things. Let me say it this way. We all supposed to heal. Let me put it that way. Let me allow me to retort, read it, you know, come back. We're all supposed to heal. There's always something. There ain't no way nobody can't tell me there's nothing you need to heal from. You know, there's a lot of things where if you know you have overcome that, then you have healed. You know, you don't have any anger, or you seeing how life became better after this traumatic situation, not realizing it was that exact, you know, traumatic situation that was the blessing. Even when it's like, how is it a blessing somebody died? How is it a blessing this and that? No, you don't realize, like, somebody goes through that and they could have lost their family member, loved one, whatever you want to call it, in the most tragic way. If you're like me, you watch a lot of these crime shows. I don't watch them as much as I used to because I just done changed so much. I can't watch stuff like that like I used to. But it's like when I do watch stuff like that, it's allowing God to show me this could happen. This could happen. It happens every day. But these are the different things where you can see laws and bills being passed just because that tragedy of somebody had to take place. Even though it's that person's life, you know how many other lives they're saving just because this happened. It's sad that it had to be something that a person was sacrificed for, or placed in, you know, sent to the upper room before their time, you know, and it passes some kind of weird bill, you know. All these different things that took place. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have all these bills we got now. You know, Amber Alert and stuff like that. These all has happened through somebody's tragedy. And you just don't know what you can learn and grow from and even excel yourself to through the mishaps that you have. So it's like when you're going through the ugliness in the world, and you really, that's all you see, that's when it's time for you to redirect your energy, and where your focus at is in to go within, so you can find that beauty within yourself. And you just don't realize when you gain that within your life, that's something very powerful. When you can find yourself loving yourself, you know your worth, you heavy on the self-care. Your daggone boundaries ain't nothing to play with. That's some fierce stuff. You tell it no when you need to say no, and you say no when you need to without no kind of guilt, and you say yes when you need to without no kind of fear. Sometimes you gotta lose the battle to win the war. I had to be able to tell myself, anytime when somebody's directing different stuff at me, disrespecting me, this and this and that, number one, don't allow yourself to get triggered by stuff like that. This is how these people feel about themselves. People do this when they're miserable. You trying to move on with life, trying to be happy, even with the little stuff you have. Because they was just looking at me like, how the hell we done made her life miserable as hell, and she can still have a smile on her face. She can still have people call her, or you call them, and you can joke and laugh. She's not supposed to have that in her life. And and that was really sad, where people that I really loved and cared for want to see nothing for me to either be gone, or if I'm here, they want me to be down and out and suffering. But then it was just like, even though these are my children, or a person I thought I was going to marry, or a person that was supposed to vow to protect me and love and protect me for, and I didn't have that, with all that coming in, or not even knowing that even blood relations, they just didn't want you here because you were a direct reflection of something they were triggered off of before their sibling passed, And those are different things, but it was just like, when I tend to look at the beauty of it, out of everything, it gave me a voice. I'm right here on the screen, sharing my life stories, where I have so many people that help me, just for me helping out or putting out a beautiful video, even when I was in my feelings. Y'all done caught me crying a couple of times, or you have me sometimes, I'll be over here cutting a fool. Y'all seen so many different facets of me, or different sides of me on my platform, where I keep it all the way 100. I keep it I have no filter. I have no filter, but everything is like transparent to what I talk about, because it's just like, when you can keep it real, I've always had it like that. And there was a lot of times where it was overly like that. I was like brutally blunt, and I had to use discernment. I had to really grow from those things. And it's just like, when you're in your strength, you have no problem with admitting your weaknesses. There's days where I feel weak. There's days where I feel tired, ready to give up, but I don't forgive up for myself. I use the exact thing that pissed me off to be the exact thing to keep me going. And that may not be healthy, but shoot, to me it works. I use these different things, and being able to make videos and tell people, these are the different things that I struggle with. These are the different things I had to be able to accept. For me to be able to really talk about it and take that emotion out, because I'm just like, I'm looking at universe like, how you want me to tell this? And these are the different things you're telling me I have to take healthy measures to be able to release this and let this go. And you want me to talk about this on videos? And then I said, so what is it? That's kind of that's an oxymoron. How you want me to do that? And it's like, you can still go, speak on the things you have, but you speak on these different things when it's not still affecting you. You speak on these things where it still don't have you to the point where you're triggered when you're talking about it, where you're being hateful about it. Are you being therapeutic when you're speaking on different things? Are you allowing yourself to talk about bad things, but allow yourself to show what good can come out of those bad things? Yeah, I lost a parent is the best thing it is. That's my best friend. We're closer than ever. Even with him passing on, we always had that kind of connection, especially when I was first born. But it was just like, with the change in the numbers and changing the states, because I was a military child, it was like, anytime my dad would get in touch with me, and my mom used to always try to allow him to stay in touch with me, but her husband always got the numbers changed. I'm like, why do we keep changing our numbers? Like, people keep calling, even when he was calling. I was like, why do y'all keep changing y'all numbers like that? Because somebody keep finding out our number and calling. Like, who is it? Nobody. Somebody we got a lawsuit against, which they ain't no public papers for, But it was, all those different things that came into my life. Like, when I first started, it's like hard to watch my first videos, because I used to smoke weed a lot when I did my videos. And it was I had no problem with telling people that. Would shoot, everybody know. Any stoner would like, no, she is high as a kite. And that's how I had to deal with things. I had no problem with telling people that. I got to that point, because for you to be able to tell me this, and I had to be able to function and still be in my right mind about it. Oh yeah. And not being able to do something that I know is going to count me is me about to do some time for, and you got, oh yeah, let me go ahead and do that. And I'll tell anybody that don't allow people to shame you for the things you used to do or how you used to be. If you know you are better than that, and that I'm gonna tell a lie. Shoot, I vape. So I had to start vaping. When I got to, I didn't have to, but that was my choice to do. And I didn't smoke cigarettes for a while. I didn't smoke weed for a while, but it was just different things that took place in my life. Even though that's not an actual healthy outlet, but it was my outlet, And it wasn't at that point where it's doing it. When I first started, I was doing it just to numb myself. Now you're opening up your spiritual doors. And I noticed that when I started smoking marijuana, it was like I really got in tune with different things in my life that, it was shunned as a mental illness. So it was something that only time I could be comfortable with speaking on different things, is just with my mom. I couldn't do that around, my adopted dad. Anything that even emulated anything in my dad, I used to get beat for. And I didn't even know why. I was like, why am I getting beat for? Because I want to play the piano or I want to play the guitar. Those different things. And I had to really go through that. And it was something that I had to even heal from too. And, it's just like being able to tell these things and not, like I said, it's not for attention. It's not for any kind of sympathy or anything to go through for me telling this story. But it's just about being able to tell you, these are my hardships. These are the things that I conquer every day. I get closer to conquering every day. Get close to overcoming them every day. There's a lot of things I have overcome with, and then I'll check with spirit. Is that something I'm like, no? You don't have to talk about that, because those are different things. It's just not important. And that's just like you opening up a door you already closed. God took the trash out, now you went back digging in it. So be able to have different points that you want to be able to tell people, but also being able to tell them, the stages you had to go through to get to where you are right now. Even though I'm not out of the woods, I'll be able to say, you looking for a light in the tunnel. You are the tunnel. You are the light. You had to put yourself in darkness. You had to really see life for what it truly is. We've been living in ignorance for so long, and we had to be able to see the truth within ourselves and our surroundings, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, give you a choice to be able to, this is a reset on life, and I want you to be able to do it again. You got a purpose out here. You're a light worker. You got different things that's taking place in the world that you're going to hold a big part in. We all are supposed to do that. It's like, how am I supposed to do that with one person? You just don't really know. I see the most beautiful, I can see the craziest things that goes viral on the internet. Just I can see a lot of beautiful things that go viral on the internet. And you just don't know. Your one act of kindness can hit like 2 or 3 people. And then, as soon as I said that, got a spiritual burp, sorry. And you just don't know, from those 2 people, it can magnify 5 people. Just from that one kindness that started off with you. That's why it's just like God tells you, you got to get right. There's something that's taking place on earth. He coming back. He's coming back. The second coming. And you see how stuff is coming out now. There ain't a lot of things that people can really do that has not been said. Like, this was like a long time coming. You seeing stuff where you hearing people saying, I went through this. You see in the situation with P. Diddy, Russell Simmons, and God forbid Uncle Hove is going through. All these different things is taking place in people's lives where, where private ain't private no more. Everybody's starting to know. Or when people got comfortable in doing real toxic stuff to people and really lived off of that. Living off of people's souls, living off of people's entities. Vampire sucking, all that daggone stuff. What is the energy suckers, whatever they want to call them. And they're doing all these different things, and it get to the point in life, like, it don't matter how much money you got. If God feel like it's gonna get exposed, it's gonna expose, and ain't nothing you can do about that. If God say, I'm gonna bless you, No matter, you hear different people, oh, that's not going to happen for you. You can't. And they'll be the main ones that's scared and pray to God that you don't. Especially if, you go through different things, and if you that type of person that there are certain things in your life you really went hard for. I mean, really, 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 really went hard for. They know what your momentum is and what your dedication is to certain things, and you see how you do that. Just think about that on something that you never knew you could be, or you never imagined you can be. God gives you a vision about how your life can be, and he don't tell you point A to point B to point C and point D how far you're gonna have to go to get towards that. He's just telling you this is how your outlook on life is gonna be, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it through your ups and downs, through your setbacks, your failures, your enemies, your friends, your loved ones, to your haters. All of these are gonna be a part of your growth. Just like I say, there'll be sometimes I try to be funny but it's true. Your haters are your best motivators. They really are. They think you the best. Why do you think they try so hard to convince you that you're not able to overcome certain things? All they gonna tell you about a pinnacle you can't reach. Things are not even relevant. They always want to point out to you just to see if they can get a reaction out of you. They know you great. They know if you can sit up here, they seeing how your potential is when you really aim for something. And when you really aim for something, you really overcome that. Now just think about some stuff they trying to keep from you. You just think about that and you wonder why your life is hard. Because people want it hard for you. But God allowed these certain things to take place into your life that's going to be truly beneficial for you. So when you get to that point in your life where you're exceeding everything, and I mean everything that you ever thought you can come into your life, and it exceeds that and adds 10, you're going to understand why God made you wait. You're going to understand why the universe made you wait. Or you're going to understand why all those hardships and pain done came through. Because when you getting like that and he blesses you with that, he had to get the people out of your life that was not going to do nothing but take from your life. He was going to show you the ones that was going to downplay every pinnacle or every, mile or milestone that you done hit and downplay it like it's not nothing, knowing it's a big deal. You had to be able to go through that. You had to be able to tell the difference. You had to go through different people where people see this, and I tell people, especially when they do the videos, sometimes there's going to be people that can put something out in 10 minutes and get 20 bands like that. But there's some of us that really got to work hard to be able to do that. And you'd be lucky if you get 10 people to watch your videos. 10 people just to give you that kind of little light shine, whatever. But that don't mean to give up on your videos. Like I said before, when I first started out 8 years ago, and like I tell people, you go back and look at the views that I got on my last videos from 6 and 7 years ago, and then you'll compare to what I'm going through now. And I'm still not stopped. Life started off good for me. I don't even know if they even do sub for subs no more. I don't never see them anymore. But it was just people on live like, hey, we doing sub for sub, and it started getting in subscribers, and then start picking up views. But it depends on the content you got. If you got a messy blog, gossip blog, oh, you may break it in. Or you doing crazy videos with the mukbangs and stuff like that, when that was still popular like it still is. But like when it first started, you do that. You do crime videos, you do prank videos, but a lot of times you got to work harder on it. Whatever you're taking on, it's just like God wants it to stretch out a little bit. Like sometimes you can be an overnight celebrity, but there'll be some people that'll allow you to just get a little bit and you get frustrated, like I'm putting all this content out or I'm doing all this and it's just really not showing up for me. And I'm seeing different people getting blessings left and right. I'm saying congratulations, not trying to be petty Betty and stuff like that, but it had to be at that point you had to stop comparing your life to somebody else. You don't know what kind of sacrifices they made. You don't know what kind of setbacks they had, failures and stuff like that. These people went through something just like you're going through something. You judge your journey by what the work you put into it. how much, if you know you putting all the work into it, staying consistent, oh, it's gonna come into something. But you had to be able to go through that, because God wanted to see how long you gonna be able to do something. Because it's like, if you know, you still had some more learning to do. Not saying you ain't came a long way, but there's stuff, you know, you never too old to learn something new. I learn something new every single day, and be proud of that. Only a fool can say, I learned everything and I don't need to learn nothing else. But that's not for you. You're going through those different things. I did not mean for this video to be as long as it is, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. But hey, you going through ugly stuff in the world. This is me showing you the different things that I went through and how I deal with them on a day-to-day basis. You know, give yourself a chance. Whatever you dealt with yesterday, you know, allow that to be a better day today. Or if you can use what you have as a tool to manifest, to create better, or allow yourself to use that as a tool to keep focusing on what things that you still hold on to, or what things that you still have a trigger about or hurt about. You work on those things every day, because especially when it's very traumatic, it's not something that's going to work. Just like people feel like, oh, I changed, it's not going to help overnight. It takes time to be able to do that, and you keep giving that to yourself every day. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of the video, y'all. If y'all ever want to place a donation or get a reading or whatever like that, just, you know, hit me up and let me know. Cash App is in the description box below, as well as the email if you want to contact me. You'll see me on my next video. Much love. Namaste. God bless. Ashe. Peace. Holla.